I was working with this client. Um, she came to me because her son had passed away like 2 weeks before. And she said she was in the kitchen making breakfast and she heard what sounded like bowling balls crashing. I'll never forget she said that. And she goes upstairs and her son is laying on the floor, um, unconscious. And she called 911 and the ambulance came and pronounced him dead at the scene. And she was crushed. And 2 weeks later, she came to see me and I asked her, would she introduce me to her son? And she pulled out a picture out of her pocketbook and it was literally in a frame and she propped it on my couch next to her. And she started telling me about him. Like he really loved the University of Texas football team. And he had a girlfriend and he was planning for a future. And when you're doing solution-focused therapy, you always have to be on the lookout for opportunities to ask questions that will have an impact. And as she's describing her son, she kind of sighed. And I mean, it was an emotional conversation and she giggled a few times, but there were certainly tears. And she said, he would be so disappointed in me right now. And I said, how come? And she said, because I was always his strong mom. And now I feel so weak. And he would want me to be strong. So if he's looking down on you, what would he notice? I would let him know that you're suffering but strong. And she said, at some point, I'm going to have to find a way to give his death purpose. And how would you know you were doing that? And she said, he died of a heart issue. And at some point, we have to give his death purpose. I'm going to have to do something meaningful. And if he were to see her doing that, according to her, that would look like strength. And the meaningful thing she ended up doing was she started a golf tournament. This woman had no experience with golf or anything. She just thought a golf tournament would be a good fundraiser to raise funds for this issue. And to this day, that golf tournament happens every year. And she's raised, I don't know how many millions of dollars to research this heart issue. But that's why I said, like, I wish I could tell people, like, I think the scariest thing about solution-focused brief therapy is there's no template. There's no win this, do this kind of thing. The most important question I asked in that session was, can you introduce me to your son? When I teach solution-focused brief therapy, I have to teach the mindset because the questions emanate from your mindset. The questions come from the way you think about your clients. So we have to master our mindset, not necessarily memorize a bunch of techniques.